Will the mysterious Orphan and their connection to the Source Wall be exactly what Clark and his team of revolutionaries need to overthrow Mongol? Well, let's hop into the pages of Action Comics, issue number 1044, and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up more or less directly from where the last issue had left off, Superman and his allies had managed to defeat the Teacher, one of the Mongol that is his most powerful elites. In doing so, they had also managed to liberate the Orphan, that weird baby creature that was part of the Darling, yet another one of Mongol's most elite fighters. Now, the Orphan can't talk because, well, it's a baby, but because Manchester Black has rejoined the good guys, Clark hopes that he can use his psychic powers to open up a channel between them. I also like that Manchester Black's hair is brown now, confirming to me that he only ever dyed it purple. Once Superman is allowed inside the head of the baby, we actually learn its very sad origins. Apparently, its parents were scientists and explorers looking to better understand the secrets of the Source Wall. Unfortunately, they had picked the absolute worst time possible to make a pilgrimage to the wall because it was at that very moment, only a few months ago during the events of Justice League No Justice, that the wall broke open. And yes, I think it's absolutely hilarious too that this book references a storyline from 2018 and calls it just a few months ago. Ain't time dilation in the world of superhero comics a bitch? The Orphan's parents were incinerated, but it managed to survive, the ship making some sort of techno-organic shell around it. Teacher had led Mongol and a raiding party to the ruins of the old ship, figuring that if they could somehow manage to gain control over the Orphan and the strange Genesis energy that it was doused with, then they could very easily create their own answer to the new god's mother boxes. Superman hopes that they could use the Orphan boxes to teleport around the planet and hopefully undo Mongol, though when the Orphan speaks up, it says something rather cryptic and horrifying. According to the Orphan, you just don't teleport with an Orphan box, you transcend. Go beyond the limits of space and time, move backwards and forwards, and make an absolute mockery of physics as they are known. Superman also tries to recruit the Orphan to the good guys' side. They're going to need all the help they can get if they want to rescue June Moon from the clutches of the Mother. We also get some interesting downtime in this issue too. Superman takes a moment out of his busy revolutionary schedule to hang out with a couple of those Falasian kids we saw a few issues back. He even comes bearing gifts too. Clark gives them what is essentially the Kryptonian version of a Rubik's Cube. He had given one to John back on Earth, and it's made abundantly clear that Superman's thoughts are still very much drifting back to home and his family. Again, it's brief, but it's sweet. Now, over with Mongol, it seems that the time has come to finally pay the piper in the form of OMAC. Mac, of course, you'll remember, had forsaken Superman's authority team to work for Mongol in exchange for Light Ray being resurrected. Here's the major problem, though. With Teacher dead and Orphan gone, Mongol's forces are suffering a real big bad brain drain right now. Apparently, those two were the only ones who knew how to make shit happen. And even if these other blood alchemists did know what they were doing, they say that Light Ray has been dead far too long. Her spirit is gone, and they might need to find another one to put in her body. Keep that idea in your back pocket, though, because that'll be important later on. From there, we transition over to the Nest, the haunted, nasty as hell home of the Mother. It would seem that in exchange for her service, the Mongol that is has been feeding this horrible space witch as many lives as she wants, slowly and excruciatingly draining all the energy out of them to feed herself. Luckily, Enchantress is the strong sort and hasn't been truly drained by the time our heroes get there. You'll remember that the Mother was a terrifying cosmic force even before the Mongol who is attained the throne of Warworld. Superman is fighting the good fight, but he's not at his prime anymore. Luckily for everyone involved, though, despite being just a baby in a jar, the Orphan actually carries with them a great amount of Genesis power, which helps turn the fight in the favor of the good guys. It's lucky, too, for Superman and the revolutionaries that the Mother is the petty sort, and once she lost her shiny new plaything in Enchantress, she gets all sorts of pissed off and goes to complain to the manager, that is Mongol. The Mongol that is in no mood to be yelled at right now, and even though he had struck a deal with the Mother back in the day when he was too weak, he has become greatly more powerful and manages to dispatch the Mother with his bare hands. Unfortunately, though, in a moment of anger and emotion, Mongol just killed another one of his most powerful fighters, but hey, waste not, want not on Warworld. If he lost one of his secret weapons, he's just going to build himself a new one. After all, they have a soul that's still lingering and a body that needs one, so why don't they just fuse together the Mother and Light Ray and see what they get. The answer is something truly ungodly. Even Mac themselves is horrified at the part they played in this gross perversion of life and death. We're also reminded here that even though Mongol is calling the shots, he's not exactly the one pulling the strings. That mysterious hooded individual, who again is almost certainly the storyteller, returns to tell Mongol that the only way they're going to be able to bring down Superman is if they too are able to gain control of Olgrim's fire, basically those magic gems we heard about a couple issues ago. And it's on that note right there the comic ends, everyone. And so that was Action Comics issue number 1044, and again, I'm really enjoying what they're doing here with the Warworld saga. Just when I think I know what's going on, just when I'm getting comfortable with this whole Superman by way of Gladiator story, they end up adding an extra cool dimension that I wasn't expecting. I like too that Light Ray is being set up as basically the last big hurdle that Superman will need to overcome before he deals with Mongol himself, and it makes sense. Light Ray was an untested, unproven hero who basically died on Clark's watch. He probably could have saved her if he was at full strength, but he kept that from his own team going in, which was maybe not the best leadership move, and something I hope Philip Kennedy Johnson deals with by the time this is all done. Overall, I'd give this issue another well-deserved 8 out of 10. Definitely enjoying this book, and I can't wait for it all to be collected.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cave Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.